Student walkouts are spreading across East Texas. One school district says students have the right to protest. But what happens when they leave class? How state attendance laws could impact them. And it's been 2 weeks and still no sign of a 76-year-old woman missing in Wood County. What investigators say might have played a role in her disappearance. And today is Wear Red Day, raising awareness for women's heart health. Coming up, we'll have a live interview with a cardiologist to tell us how you can be more heart healthy.
Well, we may not be red hot into this afternoon, but we still will be very warm. We'll take a look at all the forecast details coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. Thanks so much for joining us here on CBS 19 Plus. Well, as you get ready to head out on your Friday, we're just hours away from the weekend now, and it's looking pretty nice out there. The skies are just gorgeous. Yeah, you were kind of saying cotton candy-like. I could definitely agree with that. Absolutely gorgeous out there. High pressure is giving us those clear skies and some chillier temperatures out there. We're taking a live look outside on our CBS 19 studio cam. Lots of hustle and bustle out there. At 7:03 this morning, 43 degrees is the current temperature. Light winds out of the southwest, 5 miles per hour, so it's making it feel a little bit chillier, around 40 degrees. Temperatures all across the area ranging from the middle 30s all the way up into the middle 40s, even low 50s in Jacksonville, 37 in Henderson, 34 in Marshall. Definitely another morning to definitely bundle up, but by this afternoon you could definitely get away with some shorts. Check it out, 80 degrees by 2 o'clock, and we'll still hang on to lots of sunshine for the afternoon. We will cool down into Saturday before rebounding back up for Super Bowl Sunday. 74 degrees then, partly cloudy skies. That'll be ahead of our next system of rain. We'll talk about that coming up in your full forecast. Thank you, Joel. It's been 2 weeks since a 76-year-old woman in Wood County was last seen, prompting a silver alert. Authorities say she left home without her phone or wallet and may have been in a confused state. Ayana Aird has the latest on her disappearance.
The search continues for 76-year-old Lori Harbison, who's been missing since January 23rd. She lives out in the county in the Winsboro area, and we had received a call from a neighbor, the caretaker that takes care of her, stating that she was missing. This is County Road 4560, the last place Lori Harbison was seen. Deputies say this is an all-hands search, and they're using all the tools they have to bring her home. You know, we had the storm coming in, so it was before the storm. We believe that she was headed to town to get some supplies. Deputies say their primary concern is that severe winter weather and impassable roadways may have played a role in her disappearance. Investigators fear she could have slid off the road due to the conditions and have yet to be located. So we have utilized the Sheriff's Office employees to search the area. We have flown drones over the entire area, checking ponds and the wood lines and stuff in a grid pattern area. But despite those efforts, many questions remain unanswered. We're actively working the case around the clock. Every deputy is aware that's what's going on. We're trying to push out information best we can. In rare silver alert cases like this in Wood County, time is critical. Investigators say they're continuing to follow up on every tip while expanding search efforts across the area. The most important thing that we ask is if anybody has any information leading to where her whereabouts, please let us know. In Wood County, I'm Ayana Aird.
In Smith County, the Sheriff's Office is working to figure out how a young woman who was recently reported missing died. 21-year-old Amarie De Leon was reported missing December 12th. She'd been diagnosed with a few mental conditions and was last seen walking on Morningside Drive on December 11th. The Smith County Sheriff's Office reported that on January 31st, Smith County deputies discovered her body in a rundown home in Northeast Tyler. The body was later identified as De Leon. Now the investigation into her death continues. Students in Jacksonville took their protest beyond the classroom, walking out of school and into the streets to speak out against immigration enforcement. It's one of several school walkouts that we've seen across East Texas over the last several weeks. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza shows us what students had to say and how the school is responding.
Her personally, the only thing that I heard from the district was that we were going to get counted absent for a class.
This comes on the heels of the Texas Education Agency rolling out new guidance for students, teachers, and school districts involved in walkouts. And as Governor Greg Abbott warns, schools could lose funding if they, quote, abandon their duty to educate students.
It is sad that children, little children that are in school, have to get out of class to tell the word of what's happening in the world.
Around 3 p.m. Thursday, students left classrooms and met near Highway 69, protesting ICE policies on what they say is family separation and violence caused by immigration enforcement.
I actually have a few family members that recently got their papers, but I was living in fear that one day they would be stopped on the road and taken from me.
LaTourneau University professor Dr. John Barrett says students are allowed to protest as long as it doesn't disrupt classroom instruction.
The schools automatically lose funding as attendance goes down, so there's a little bit of an automatic mechanism there.
The TEA also warns teachers who facilitate walkouts could also face investigation and discipline.
While they're at school, this is kind of a public venue like a park, and the state has an interest in managing it and regulating it to make sure it's achieving its stated purpose, which is to educate the students.
While Jacksonville ISD says it respects students' right to express their views, officials made it clear disruptions to class time will not be tolerated. The district released a statement in part, quote, students who leave campus during the instructional day without following proper procedures will receive an unexcused absence. Additionally, students who leave campus without authorization may be subject to disciplinary action.
It's actually amazing. I love that the youth is standing out for what's wrong and they speaking up and not scared to stand up for themselves.
Residents like LaShantia Price say they joined to show support and to be a voice for people who can't speak for themselves, despite the small turnout. Protesters say the message still matters.
If you stay quiet and try to be shallow, they're going to let this stuff keep sliding. So you have to stand up for what's right.
Reporting in Jacksonville, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
Well, today is National Wear Red Day. It is a day where we're all encouraged to wear our red. It's to help raise awareness for women's heart health. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women in the United States. Dr. Khanda Moody, a cardiac electrophysiologist at UT Health East Texas Heart and Vascular Institute, joins us to talk more about heart health this morning. We're so glad that you could join us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Dana.
I think a lot of people have the misconception that breast cancer is the #1 killer of women, but it's heart disease.
That's correct. We've learned for quite some time that heart disease remains a real challenge for Americans, and women in particular suffer because of the type of symptoms they present with. So while men present with heart disease earlier, women still have the same lifetime risk, but their diagnosis is often missed.
And a lot of times, I mean, they're moms, they're busy, they're going, and we're not recognizing how our body feels and just pushing through. Do you see that a lot?
Yes. I remember a patient who presented to the hospital with just fatigue, and turns out she had a massive heart attack. And so any sort of symptom that we typically associate with a heart attack, like chest pain, is not as common in women. Women present with lightheadedness, feeling just out of it, fatigue, and women should just be aware that this could be a harbinger of something really dangerous.
Sometimes even like nausea, right? Just,
correct, yeah.
You really got to be in tune to your body and not afraid to go to the doctor. Is that what you'd say? If you start feeling out of sorts, just go see your doctor?
Yeah, if you feel out of it, if you don't feel fine, definitely seek help earlier rather than later. It's not something that we can just sit on.
And also okay to go to the emergency room in severe cases because it could be life-saving, right?
Exactly. And to call an ambulance right away, don't drive. Just call the ambulance and head to the ER if anything just feels wrong.
So what are the risk factors for women and heart disease? Are they the same as they are for men?
Mostly. So risk factors for heart disease include high blood pressure, which is the most common, high cholesterol, diabetes, physical inactivity, excess weight, smoking, and family history, as well as sleep deprivation as well.
Right. So if those are our risk factors, what do we need to be doing to try to make our heart healthy?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the most important point here is that even if you feel okay, it doesn't mean that you're low risk. So high blood pressure, high cholesterol is silent, and the way we can keep track of how we're doing in those arenas is checking your blood pressure on a regular basis, seeing a doctor regularly so these numbers can be checked, and ultimately for your physical activity and weight, staying active, keeping a healthy diet, those are keys to staying healthy.
Can it be as easy as just going out for a walk every day?
Yeah, going out for the walk. If you have a fur baby at home, that's an easy way to get outside. But as simple as going on a walk for 30 minutes a day can go a long way in preventing heart disease.
I know we always think we got to do something like really intense, but well, a good walk is really nice out there. If you do have family history, what should you be doing, and should you be seeing a cardiologist in those cases if you have that family history?
A family history definitely is worrisome, and I think it just helps one, stay mindful of the other risk factors which we can control. I think a primary care doctor can help with those risk factors, but certainly at any point, if those risk factors remain uncontrolled, it's important to connect with the heart doctor. And definitely if a heart attack occurs or if a cardiovascular event occurs, a heart doctor can help both manage, prevent future events.
What is one thing you want people to remember today as we wear red for women?
Well, heart disease is the #1 killer. Women present in ways that are not common, so if there's something doesn't feel right, present to the ER. And lastly, although heart disease is the #1 killer, it's very much preventable.
All right, thank you so much for spending time with us and really helping everybody out there know our heart risk. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. It is 7:15 and time for your morning headlines. Investigators say they believe Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy Guthrie, is still out there. The high-profile search in Arizona continues without a suspect identified in the case. The FBI also announced a $50,000 reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's recovery or the arrest and conviction of people involved in her disappearance. The Trump administration launched its new Trump RX prescription drug listing site. It's part of a push by President Trump to offer lower direct-to-consumer drug prices. The president struck deals last year with more than a dozen drug makers to offer some of their medication at steep discounts from list prices. And the value of Bitcoin slid yesterday, at one point selling for under $61,000. That's now half of its all-time high of more than $126,000, reached back in October of last year. The drop comes as tech shares have also slid in recent days, with economists suggesting that investors may be pulling back from riskier assets. Well, some restaurant chains are hiking out some big food deals this Super Bowl weekend. Today, Subway's offering 2 6-inch subs for $6. Buffalo Wild Wings and Applebee's are serving up free wings with a purchase on Sunday, while Chipotle will give 100,000 fans free entrees if they text the code that Chipotle sends out on Instagram during Sunday's game. Now, before you order, double check that the restaurant is participating in the offer. It is time now for Texas news. A 5th lawsuit has been filed against Camp Mystic in the wake of last year's deadly hill country flooding, this time by the family of Seal Stewart, who's still missing. Seal is one of the 27 campers and counselors killed in the July 4th floodwaters while attending Camp Mystic. The lawsuit claims those in charge told the girls to stay put before the water rose more than 30 feet. The camp is planning to partially or partly reopen later this year. At the U.S. Capitol today, Senator John Cornyn says he's concerned about the potential for screwworms spreading in Texas. Those are the flies that lay eggs that quickly hatch, and the larvae burrow into the flesh of livestock, which could devastate the cattle industry. They've been found in northern Mexico, and agriculture experts worry they'll move into Texas next. Today, Senator Cornyn is highlighting steps to the federal government that they're taking to stop the spread, including working on deploying sterile flies that can stop screwworms from breeding.
So the fly has yet to land here in the United States, but is close, and we're taking active steps to prevent its continued northward spread. I'm confident that under Secretary Rollins and President Trump's leadership, we will be prepared to meet this nasty parasite if it arrives in the United States.
Time now is 7:18. Let's check in with sports.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Morning, y'all. Dan Millay with your sports here. Appreciate you joining us. Earlier this week, Jacksonville girls soccer senior Lauren Wade scored her 150th career goal, the most in school history for the boys or the girls teams. And despite this incredible individual accomplishment, she says what really made it special was the people she got to share the moment with.
CBS 19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
Watching Lauren Wade's 150th career goal, it almost seems casual. I mean, on one level, it makes sense. She's done it 149 times before, but when she looks back at the record-breaking strike, she says that what stands out in her mind isn't the moment the ball hit the back of the net, but instead what came after.
The most important thing to me was how excited my teammates were for me. You know, the second it happened, they just came and gave me some hugs and like super crazy on the bench. So that was really, really special to get to witness it with some great teammates. We have really great team chemistry, and a lot of the times my teammates are able to get me the ball and I'm just able to execute.
It's clear that the Maidens have a strong team culture, and you could probably assume that looking at their 10-1 record. But head coach Roy Alvarez says Wade isn't just part of that culture, she spearheads it.
She never puts her head down, and I think her teammates feed off that energy where it's like, if our captain hasn't given up, then we shouldn't, right? And so I think the teammates look at her and use that as motivation to keep fighting, no matter what the score is of the game. And they see her example and they want to replicate that.
Yeah, I can see why you'd want to replicate scoring 26 goals in 11 games. But again, Wade attributes her own success to the positions her teammates put her in to score.
I think always just playing simple, you know, playing the way you're facing, making sure you're always scanning so you know what's around you is really helpful. A lot of the times I feel like people want to just try and beat like 5 people, but the way I like to play is I like to do a lot of combinations, find open space, and then take the shot as quick as possible.
Even with everything Wade can do with a soccer ball at her feet, Coach says it's that team-first mindset that makes her stand out.
She shows up every day. She does not complain. She's one that she just works. She's one who is responsible. She's a great person all around. I think that's the biggest thing that makes her who she is and why she's so great.
So during a time of year typically dominated by basketball, head to the pitch sometime and check out the Jacksonville Maidens. The ladies could use that boost as they make a run at state.
A lot of the times we don't get the recognition just because soccer isn't, you know, as popular as other sports, but it really helps us getting to see all of our friends in the stands, because a lot of the times since we don't get the support when we do, it's really like makes us feel really good and it makes us feel seen.
And sticking with women's sports, SFA hosted East Texas A&M last night. The Lady Jacks entered the fourth quarter with a 54-43 lead, but the Lions came storming back in that final period, coming away with a slim 65-64 win. Looking at the box score, you see the Jacks shot the ball more efficiently from 3 from the line and the field overall. All stats that would point to a dub, but then you scroll down to the turnovers. SFA turned it over 20 times, A&M meanwhile just 8 times. And while the Patriots and the Seahawks prepare for the Super Bowl, America's team's getting ready for a trip to Brazil. For the first time in 12 seasons, the Cowboys are headed overseas. The NFL announced yesterday that Dallas will play in Rio de Janeiro this season with a date and opponent to be named later, likely closer to the schedule release in May. The game will be played at the historic Maracanã Stadium, one of the largest venues for a sporting event. More than 26 times has this stadium held crowds of 150,000 people or more for soccer matches, including World Cup events. The league also announced the 49ers and Rams will play in Melbourne, Australia during the 2026 season. We all remember this. Wasn't that nice? The All Saints Trojans taking the field for a playoff game, something they've only done in 2 seasons of existence, largely because of this man, Kyle Freeman, the only coach that's ever taken them to the playoffs. Well, Now he's gone. Tyler Paper reported the other day that All Saints has promoted his defensive coordinator David Benbow to take over in his absence, and this man's been coaching forever. 3 decades to be exact. He's got some big shoes to fill, though. Freeman went 14-10 in his time as head coach, which makes him one of the winningest coaches in school history. That's all the time we have for sports. Morning, y'all. Back to y'all.
All right, let's take a look at your I-20 report as well as the rest of your traffic report this morning. I-20 not looking too bad. We got 2 hours over to Dallas, an hour and 30 minutes, over to Shreveport. So pretty standard numbers there. Nice and smooth sailing on US 69 as well. 2.5 hours up to Denison, also an hour and 30 minutes down south towards Lufkin. We have 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches as well as Tyler to Palestine. 40 minutes from Tyler to Longview and Tyler to Athens up to 45 minutes. CBS19 live radar is a nice clean sweep overhead as high pressure is the dominating factor over our weather, and visibility is not going to be an issue either. We got some very dry air leaving us with no fog. Should be in pretty good shape this morning. Upper 30s and low 40s this morning. Green lights for the traffic, and into this afternoon same goes with 4, 5 and 6 o'clock. Should be in good shape. High temperatures in the low 80s. I'll show you how long that'll last coming up in your full forecast later on. We'll be right back.
All right, some people watch it for the game while some people watch for the ads, but for some, it's all about the music. Maybe you're a Bad Bunny fan, maybe you're looking forward to Green Day, you might just skip it all together. I don't know, watch Kid Rock. We want to know, what is your dream Super Bowl concert? Do you have one?
I would like to see Pharrell Williams.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
I'd like to see Pharrell Williams. If Michael Jackson were still around, would love to see him. Daft Punk were still together.
He definitely did that years and years ago.
I'm sure he did.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
For me, right now, I go through phases of the different kind of music that I listen to, but for now, it'd be like if they would do like a country star. I'm into country music. I love country music. So I don't know. For me, that's what it's be. Let me see if the people are saying anything on Facebook this morning. I'm trying to find. There it is.
Right.
Let's see. Melinda says Post Malone.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jelly Roll, Brandon Lake. That's what Keith says. So
good answers.
Yeah, just whatever you like is
Whatever
really
you
what
like.
you want to see. All righty. We are about to step away for just a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. We'll be right back on this Friday with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this morning news update. The search continues for a missing 76-year-old woman out of Wood County who was last seen 2 weeks ago, prompting a silver alert. And investigators say Laurie Harbison may have been heading into Winsboro for supplies ahead of the winter weather. But officials say the hazardous conditions are a major concern, raising fears she could have slid off the road.
So we have utilized the Sheriff's Office employees to search the area. We have flown drones over the entire area, checking ponds and the wood lines and stuff in a grid pattern area.
Despite extensive efforts, Harbison has not been found. Investigators urge anyone with information to contact the Wood County Sheriff's Office. The Smith County Sheriff's Office is working to figure out how a young woman reported missing in December died. The Smith County Sheriff's Office says on January 31st, deputies discovered a body in a rundown home in Northeast Tyler. The body was later identified as 21-year-old Amarie De Leon. The investigation into her death continues. Growing concerns over immigration enforcement are sparking student-led protests across Texas, including a small walkout in Jacksonville. They left campus around 3 p.m. and gathered near Highway 69 to protest ICE policies and the impact on local families. The walkout comes just one day after Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas Education Agency announced a crackdown on school walkouts, warning students could be marked unexcused and districts could lose funding if attendance drops.
So you have to stand up for what's right. And these students coming out here, even though it's just a few of us, we are being heard by everybody in Jacksonville. So it's great to be heard.
Jacksonville ISD issued a statement saying, quote, students who leave campus during the instructional day without following proper procedures will receive an unexcused absence and not be permitted to return to campus for the remainder of the day. Additionally, students who leave campus without authorization may be subject to disciplinary action. All right, let's get over to Joel now, talk about this gorgeous weather that's in store for today.
Gorgeous is right, and temperatures will be well above average by about 20 or so degrees. We're looking at highs in the low 80s. Beautiful sunny skies, great weather to enjoy the patio or maybe some outdoor activities for today. Future Skycast showing temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s, and then we'll drop down as a cold front comes through this afternoon. So we'll start things off in the 40s once again for Saturday morning, and then middle to upper 60s for Saturday afternoon. Don't worry, we'll be inching right back into the 70s by the time we get to Sunday. Winds out of the south by the time we get to Sunday morning. We have a little bit more cloud cover to deal with into Sunday afternoon and into Monday. Temperatures rebounding into the upper 60s and low 70s. So still pretty comfortable weather to enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. A little bit more cloud cover altogether into Monday. Temperatures still in the middle to upper 70s. And then we will be watching our next chance of some rain, which we definitely need for this time of year. Tuesday into Wednesday, then mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the 70s will return Thursday afternoon.
It's 7:30. Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Booked into jail, accused of breaking probation, and now facing serious jail time. What it could mean for Pat Mahomes coming up. And as the community mourns the loss of 11-year-old Easton Roper, loved ones prepare to say their final goodbyes this afternoon. His family has an important message for parents still ahead.
We got some exceptionally warm temperatures, perfect for outdoor activities over the next few days. I'll show you all the latest numbers coming up later this half hour.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Yo on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for staying with us on CBS 19 Plus on this beautiful Friday morning. It's 7:32 now. Two Winnsboro ISD school leaders are out of jail this morning after being arrested on new criminal charges. Superintendent Aaron Nation and former Superintendent David Wilcox were booked into the Hopkins County Jail. Authorities say the two are charged with tampering with physical evidence and illegally intercepting electronic communications. Investigators allege the men failed to report multiple cases of suspected sexual misconduct by district employees within the time required by Texas law. They also claim that the two withheld phone records requested by a grand jury and that Nation factory reset his district-issued phone before turning it over to investigators. Both men have since been released on $50,000 bonds. Now to an update. A hearing has been scheduled for Pat Mahomes Sr., the father of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback and White House native Patrick Mahomes, after allegedly violating his probation. Mahomes was booked into the Smith County Jail on Tuesday, and he's currently serving a 5-year probation for a DWI arrest last February. According to the district attorney, Mahomes is accused of consuming alcohol after his ankle monitor showed a high reading on New Year's Day. While later urine tests came back negative, a motion was filed to revoke his probation. He could face up to 10 years in prison. His hearing is set for March 9th. A ransom deadline has come and gone with no response in the case of the apparent abduction of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, mom of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The investigation is intensifying now 6 days in. Meanwhile, authorities in Arizona are confirming new details about the search and the crime scene as the family makes yet another public plea to her could-be abductors. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
6 days into the search for Nancy Guthrie, and the Pima County Sheriff is holding out hope that the 84-year-old is still alive.
We believe Nancy is still out there.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family.
Late Thursday, Nancy's son Cameron released a new video directed at her potential abductors as one purported ransom deadline passed.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly.
Authorities haven't released specifics on the terms of the note or confirmation of its authenticity, but the FBI says it contained details not previously made public at the time it was sent.
The ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics.
But the sheriff has released a detailed timeline of the night Nancy went missing. She arrived home from dinner with her daughter Saturday night at 9:48 p.m. The garage door closed 2 minutes later. At 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects movement, but it wasn't captured on video. At 2:28 a.m., Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnects from her phone. Then at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy after she doesn't show up to church. Authorities say DNA testing has revealed that the bloodstains found outside the home do belong to Guthrie.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere.
The FBI now offering a $50,000 reward. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Authorities say one person has been arrested in relation to a different phony ransom note sent to the Guthries. This is part of why they don't want to make too much information public, so copycats don't clog up this investigation. Family and friends will say a final goodbye to 11-year-old Easton Roper today. The young boy died last Friday in a fatal four-wheeler accident near his home in Troop. Investigators believe Easton hit a hole in the trail, was thrown from a four-wheeler and became pinned underneath it. Easton's parents say he enjoyed building things and just spending time outdoors, often riding after getting home from school. But when he failed to return last Friday, his family began searching and later found him beneath that four-wheeler.
Kind of an example of what can happen to you if you go too fast. Don't think you're going to fall off and sometimes get back up. Sometimes you don't get to back up.
The Roper family is now urging parents and children to prioritize safety when it comes to riding off-road vehicles. Easton's funeral will take place at First Baptist Church of Mixon at 2 this afternoon. Henderson ISD is mourning the loss of Ronnie Ferguson, a beloved band director whose impact on students and music education spanned more than 5 decades. Ferguson joined the school district in 1977 and retired in 2003, shaping award-winning programs and just countless students through his discipline, creativity, and love of music. Even after retirement, he continued mentoring students and supporting the band program. Current Henderson High School band director Craig Haney called Ferguson a legend whose legacy lives on in the music, the standards, and the generations of musicians he inspired. Under Ferguson's leadership, the band grew to more than 300 students. The city of Marshall is moving forward on plans to make more than $56 million in critical upgrades to the city's water and wastewater system. Marshall Mayor Amy Ware says the city's Every Drop Counts campaign is a tool to educate residents about the daily operations of the water system and how taxpayer funds are being used to make improvements. New water and sewer rate increases went into effect January 1st. The average household water bill increased by roughly $8 a month.
What you collect from bills in your water fund is how you pay for your water system. So this is not going towards other uses in the city. It's very specific how these funds are used.
The investment in the city's water and wastewater system will be made over the next 6 years. As we kick off Black History Month here at CBS 19, we take you down to the history books at Tyler High. One graduate has risen to heights that no other member of the Big Blue Band has reached and is honoring his family in the process. Our Jimmy Searfoss has more.
Walking around the halls of Tyler High was a relaxing moment for Markel Johnson. Now looking at the trophies his band won while he was there, that brought back memories that were anything but relaxed.
When we get ready to perform, it's almost like a culture shock. They're like, oh, okay. A drum major is a leader, the face of the band, really.
Johnson led the Tyler High band till he graduated in 2022. Then he set his eyes on Prairie View A&M, a place he had heard about once or twice.
Well, I went to Prairie View some years ago, and I had the opportunity to be in the band, also a drum major too. I don't try to influence too much of the students to go to my school, but when they do, I'm excited.
Excited because now thousands more will be introduced to not Markel Johnson, but Six.
Most definitely an alter ego. Like me now, I'm laid back, I'm kind of quiet, introverted, but when I'm on the field, it's just a snap. Like entertainment mode is happening. Beyonce and Sasha Fierce, it has me, and my stage name is Six.
Six is a little mix of Michael Jackson, The Temptations, and a lot of James Brown. The kind of music his family played for him while growing up. The same people he performs for, the same people he takes with him when he performs.
That is my great grandmother. Every time something major would happen, like I'm a drum major, come tell her. Or I'm graduating in high school, come to her. She recently passed last November. She's all I dedicated this season for.
He'll be honoring her when he graduates from Prairie View with the head drum major title to his name. Something no other Tyler graduate has claimed.
To have the first head drum major from Tyler High to go down there. Yeah, I was drum major, but he was head drum major, so that's a big deal, and so I'm more than excited for him.
Jimmy Searfoss, CBS 19.
That is pretty impressive. Make sure that you join us for the CBS 19 Black History Month special. We're celebrating resilience across East Texas and the trailblazers who paved the way for future generations. Don't miss these powerful stories, airing February 26th at 6:30 p.m. and again on March 1st, only on CBS 19. The Super Bowl's just around the corner now. A teaser for this year's halftime show stated that on Sunday, the world will dance. During a halftime press conference, Bad Bunny gave us some answers for what to expect. CBS's Elizabeth Cook has the details, plus what the pregame performers had to say about their songs.
Bad Bunny says not to worry if you don't speak Spanish. His halftime show will be a party for everyone.
I know that I told them that they had 4 months to learn Spanish. They don't even have to learn Spanish. They just it's better if they learn to dance. But I think there's no better dance than the one that can come from the heart.
In 2020, the Puerto Rican superstar made a surprise appearance at Shakira's halftime show, but he was tight-lipped on any surprises this year.
We ask it every year, to be fair. So
I'm just trying to say all the English words that I know.
We appreciate it.
That's what I'm doing here.
The artist is fresh off 3 wins at the Grammys, where he used one of his victory speeches to make a statement on immigration.
Eyes out.
He didn't talk politics on Thursday, but earlier this week, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said he doesn't expect Bad Bunny to do so on Sunday either.
When your life flashes before your eyes, you'll see things like this.
We also heard from others performing on Sunday. Charlie Puth hopes the audience feels inspired as he belts out the national anthem.
How have I prepared? A lot of singing in the shower, a lot of singing alone.
Coco Jones is looking back in time as she prepares to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, recognized as the Black national anthem that's been played before each of the last 5 Super Bowls.
Thinking about my grandma and my ancestors and the women that came before me and what they want to see, what they would need to see.
Brandi Carlile will perform America the Beautiful. Elizabeth Cook, CBS News, San Francisco.
7:43 now, while fans across California waited for a glimpse of Bad Bunny, one San Francisco neighborhood turned it into a full-blown celebration. A restaurant named Tacolicious held a Bad Bunny look-alike contest, and it turned into a full-blown block party. Organizers say they didn't expect a large turnout, but they got one. Hundreds packed the restaurant, and more than 50 people entered the contest, some serious, some just for fun, all proving that the Bay Area might have a few Bad Bunny twins out there.
That's awesome.
Isn't that funny that they didn't think they would get much of a crowd, and then it was just jam-packed with people?
Oh, it just flooding with people. I mean, that's hilarious. Stuff like that's funny. I remember seeing videos of like celebrity lookalikes at like hockey games and stuff, how they're up in the Jumbotron. Those are funny.
All right, Minnesota residents may soon see sled Zeppelin clearing their streets the next time it snows there. And that is just one of the finalists for the Name a Snowplow contest. I like it. This is the 6th year that the Minnesota Department of Transportation has held that contest. More than 6,700 names were submitted and then whittled down to 30. Some of the other snowplow finalist names include Every Day I'm Shoveling, Here We Snow Again, and The Life of a Snow Girl. From a group of 38 names will be chosen to adorn one plow in each of the MDOT's districts. I mean,
That's
as much
hilarious.
work as they have to do on the streets, it's fun to, like, you know, just make life, you know, it's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of hard work.
But you got to have a little fun sometimes.
You really do. I got one. Ice to meet you.
Oh, okay, yes.
Ice to meet you.
I can't come up with anything great, but I do like sled Zeppelin. I think that's funny.
That's brilliant.
All right, when you look at homes, you usually notice the landscaping, right? Don't look at mine right now because it needs help. That snowstorm or ice storm we got didn't help.
No.
But for one neighborhood in Chicago, everyone is talking about the garages. Here they go. The garage doors all have murals painted on them. And no, it's not graffiti. The builder came up with the idea as the homes were being built. Some of the residents were able to choose their own unique design. The art draws visitors to the alley, with one resident calling it the most Instagrammable alley in the city.
I'd definitely call it Instagrammable.
Yeah,
wow.
they're all so different.
They are also different and so detailed.
Yeah.
That's the most detailed garage door I've ever seen.
That's like the murals that you see, you know, like in downtowns and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
They brought it over.
All right, it's a little bit cool out there still, I guess 44, but later today, just make sure the kiddos are dressed in layers. And when they walk out their door, they may say they want to wear shorts, which doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it will come like, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, just wait a few hours and boom, we're going to be up into the 80s for the afternoon. I mean, just a beautiful day ahead. Satellite and radar picture, clear skies overhead. That will continue to be the case all the way through today. Notice the clouds off to the south and west. Those will continue to move in, and we got some Pacific moisture that's going to be on its way for this weekend, particularly into Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday into Wednesday is our next chance of rain. But into this weekend, we are looking at high pressure overhead, and that's going to give us some nice clear skies. Here's a look at our CBS19 studio cam. Blue skies overhead. There's Troop Highway, and there's Loop 323. Not looking too bad out there. Pretty busy out there at this point. 43, the current temperature. Southwest wind 5 miles per hour is also making it feel like 40 degrees. Some of us are struggling to get out of the 30s. We have 34 in Athens, 43 in Tyler, 39 in Longview, with 35 in Marshall and 36 in Nacogdoches. Definitely a chilly morning to be outside, but by this afternoon, like we were saying, definitely a different story. You definitely shed off some of those layers out there. Temperatures already at 75 by the time we hit noon, and then 80 by 2 o'clock. So those temperatures will be climbing. And then a cold front will sweep through the area into this afternoon. We'll drop down briefly into the upper 60s for Saturday, then 70s return for Sunday, ahead of our next chance of rain. We'll talk about that in more detail coming up in your full forecast. We'll be right back.
Time for a health check this morning at 7:48. People diagnosed with cancer in the midst of the COVID pandemic had a lower survival rate than other cancer patients. A study published in JAMA found during 2020 and 2021 there was a significant reduction in cancer survival rates in the first year after being diagnosed. Interruptions to cancer screening, diagnosis, and treatment are the biggest factors. A new study suggests that babies are born with a natural sense of rhythm. Researchers in Italy played Bach piano songs for sleeping newborns while measuring their brain waves. The baby's brain waves showed signs of surprise when the rhythm of the songs unexpectedly changed. Previous research has shown even in the womb, babies can respond to music. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer of women in the United States. Mary Nichols has one heart attack survivor's story and what she wants others to know about the warning signs.
It's been 4 years since Beth Opal suffered a massive heart attack. She experienced symptoms on the way home from a trip with her sister.
Really uneasy and uncomfortable. There was a little pressure on my neck. I had some achiness in my arms and definitely my back.
Knowing her family history, her mom had a heart attack at age 50, Beth headed for the ER. The type of heart attack she experienced is called a widowmaker because it's often fatal.
The entire left side was blocked, so I'm very fortunate that I got there in time.
Beth is in this year's American Heart Association Go Red for Women class of survivors, raising awareness.
Most women will show up with the classic chest pain, chest pressure. However, some women can show up with nausea, sweaty feeling, chest burning, back pain, left arm pain, just not feeling right as a manifestation of their heart attack.
Northwell Health cardiologist Dr. Jennifer Merez says heart disease is preventable, so know the risk factors. They include high blood pressure, diabetes, elevated cholesterol, obesity, lack of sleep, and cardiovascular conditions during pregnancy.
Choose to move every day. Have a colorful plate. We now know that if you get less than 7 hours of sleep, that can have an amplifying effect on your risk for heart disease.
Beth is following that advice.
I definitely try to minimize stress. I try to do things that are calming, like playing the piano and taking walks. I try to eat healthy. I'm just lucky to be alive, and I'm just here to tell everybody about listening to the signs and knowing your history.
It could save your life. Mary Nichols, CBS News, Salt Lake City.
Research shows less than 50% of women recognize that they're at risk for heart disease. Here at CBS 19, we have a special tie to Go Red Day. Our longtime morning producer, Coretta Williams, is a heart warrior. She underwent open heart surgery for a congenital heart defect a little over 10 years ago. We are proud to say that she is doing well. Over the years, Coretta has been brave enough to share her story with us. She is a true soldier. And we're lucky we get to see her every single day, and we always celebrate her.
Absolutely, darn right.
That's right. All right, some people watch it for the game, some people watch it for the ads, but for some, It is all about the music. Maybe you're super excited about Bad Bunny. Maybe you're looking forward to Green Day. Maybe you're going to skip it altogether or watch Kid Rock. There's so many options. I'm definitely going to watch. How can you not watch?
Oh, yeah.
But what is your dream Super Bowl concert?
I think it would be really goofy if Weird Al Yankovic played. I think it would be really goofy.
Really goofy.
That would be something.
A dream concert? I don't know. It would be a compilation of like my favorite country singers. So
yeah,
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
Like Cody Johnson, Morgan Wallen. If they had like just a bunch of them, that'd be really
just
good.
all
and
of them
entertaining
collected
for me.
together.
Not everybody likes country music. I happen to be in that phase of my life, but I also like pop music too. Let's see what the people are saying. There are a lot of people. Petra says Kesha, Chapel Roan, Sabrina Carpenter. Laquita's going with Bad Bunny. Tabitha says Red Clay Strays. Let's see, what else?
Ooh, Sharon says Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yes.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
A little throwback.
Yes.
He loves a throwback. So do I.
I do,
Any
yeah.
80s music, so like Elton John would be fabulous for me. Nancy says Alan Jackson, George Strait, Clint Black, Blake Shelton, Carrie Underwood. Reba. Oh, yeah, Reba.
Oh, Reba.
She puts on a great concert.
I'd watch that for sure.
So good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're getting ready to head out this morning, just look at it, y'all.
Yes. You can just take a
gorgeous.
look out there. I mean, it's cold right now.
Right
It's a little
now.
chilly, but that's going to be a different story this afternoon. Temperatures, they could be in the 80s for this afternoon. So how about that? I hope you made outdoor plans today or even this weekend. I mean, Super Bowl Sunday. You could definitely enjoy some outdoor time. It is going to be warm today. You do have a cold front on its way coming in from the north. That'll swing its way through into this afternoon. And on the other side, we'll still be pretty mild, but we will be a little bit cooler. We'll be noticeably cooler for tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 60s, but that only will last for a day as temperatures increase back into the low to mid 70s by Super Bowl Sunday. But here you go. Future Skycast, beautiful conditions out there this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. That cold front sweeps through. Notice the winds out of the east. They'll eventually shift out of the north. 40s and then 60s for the afternoon on Saturday. And then we'll eventually see that shift out of the south when it comes to the winds. So we'll be in for some warmer temperatures into Sunday. But notice there'll be a little bit more cloud cover into Sunday afternoon. So temperatures will still make a run for the upper 60s and low 70s. But this time we'll be dealing with a little bit more cloud cover. And that will continue to be the case into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which, by the way, Tuesday and Wednesday marks our next chance of rain. And we're going to be dry for the weekend. 68 for the high tomorrow, 80 for the high today. Of course, we should be at 60, but we're way above that for this time of year. Temperatures still in the 70s. Even with that little cool down from that system, Tuesday into Wednesday still going to be pretty mild. 70s for your day on Tuesday and Wednesday, 60s for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next weekend. We are going to be awesome. And again, we need that rain. We got severe drought, even extreme drought conditions in some parts of the area. We're definitely below average for this time of year, and luckily we'll get a nice healthy dose of that into Tuesday and Wednesday. Likely could see up to about 1/4 of an inch in some parts of the area, mainly over Deep East Texas. This map is, of course, going to change over the next few days. We'll keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, enjoy some outdoor weather. Temperatures in the 60s, 70s, 80s for today.
We'll be right back with your morning news update. Stay with us. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this morning news update. 2 Winnsboro ISD school leaders are out of jail this morning after being arrested on new criminal charges. Superintendent Aaron Nation and former Superintendent David Wilcox were booked into the Hopkins County Jail. Authorities say the 2 are charged with tampering with physical evidence and illegally intercepting electronic communications. Investigators also allege the men failed to report multiple cases of suspected sexual misconduct by district employees within the time required by Texas law. Both men have since been released on $50,000 bond. Now to an update, a hearing has been scheduled for Pat Mahomes Sr., the father of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback and White House native Patrick Mahomes, after allegedly violating his probation. Mahomes was booked into the Smith County Jail on Tuesday. He's currently serving a 5-year probation for a DWI arrest last February. According to the district attorney, Mahomes is accused of consuming alcohol after his ankle monitor showed a high reading on New Year's Day. While later urine test came back negative, a motion was filed to revoke his probation. He could face up to 10 years in prison. His hearing is set for March 9th. The FAA has launched an investigation after a scary scene unfolded in Crockett yesterday afternoon. Officials say a single-engine plane ran off the runway at the Houston County Airport and sparked a grass fire near the airfield. Emergency crews from multiple agencies rushed in and quickly brought that fire under control. The pilot, the only person on board, was checked by EMS at the scene and was not injured. Officials say no one on the ground was hurt and there was no damage to nearby buildings. The FAA is leading this investigation into what caused the crash. A Mount Pleasant man has been found guilty of trafficking fentanyl linked to the death of at least 2 people. 36-year-old Jaquavian Veasley was found guilty by a jury of 5 counts of conspiracy to distribute and possession with the intent to distribute fentanyl, resulting in death or serious bodily injury. Veasley faces at least 20 years to life in prison. Well, we are heating up today as we head into our Friday. How are things looking out there for the weekend, Joel?
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Now for today, it will probably be the warmest day out of the entire 7-day forecast, but still some mild conditions expected nonetheless through the weekend. We'll be as warm as the upper 70s to low 80s by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's going to be very warm and very sunny as well. The sunny conditions will also carry into tomorrow as well, this time with some cooler temperatures. A cold front will be drifting through this afternoon, so we'll see some temperatures in the middle to upper 60s for a change into Saturday afternoon, and then we'll be rising in those temperatures once again, still starting off pretty chilly each and every morning in the 40s, but this time with a little bit more cloud cover. So Super Bowl Sunday featuring partly cloudy conditions, temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s, still awesome outdoor weather to just enjoy. And then 70s will continue into the next several days after that. Rain chances will once again arrive Tuesday into Wednesday.
News before we head out this morning. A 76-year-old woman in Wood County has now been missing for 2 weeks. Lori Harbison was last seen on January 23rd. Authorities say that severe winter weather may have played a role in her disappearance. Time is of the essence, and investigators are expanding search efforts across the area. They ask if anyone has information regarding her whereabouts to contact the Wood County Sheriff's Office. And as the search for Nancy Guthrie continues into a 6th day, authorities have made an arrest in relation to a copycat ransom note. However, the FBI says another note contained details not previously made public at the time that it was sent. And today is Go Red for Women Day, raising awareness for heart health. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer of women in the United States. Experts suggest moving lots, eating well, and plenty of rest for better heart health. All right, it is looking pretty gorgeous out there on this Friday. Let's get one last look at our forecast.
Yeah, we're going to be up to the 80s for this afternoon. As early as 1 or 2 o'clock, we'll be settling into the 80-degree mark. And we'll have lots of sunshine overhead for today and even into tomorrow. A cold front will drift through today, this afternoon, and we'll finally feel that effect of that cold front into tomorrow with temperatures only in the upper 60s. Then 70s will return Super Bowl Sunday with a little bit more cloud cover. Still a wonderful day to get outside and enjoy. Then overcast, cloudy skies into Monday, temperatures around 76. This is all ahead of our next system. This cloud cover that we're going to be seeing increase over the next few days after Sunday. That's going to be ahead of our next system Tuesday into Wednesday as we introduce our next chance of rain. Definitely needed for this time of year. We are lacking in that rainfall department. After that, Thursday, looking to be mostly sunny and 76.
It's a good looking 7-day.
Right.
All right, check this out. Drivers in Colorado got more than a green light. They got a front row seat to a fire juggling unicyclist. Okay. Police in Colorado were left a little stunned after multiple calls came in about a unicyclist stopping traffic at a busy intersection. Yeah, you don't see that every day. Officers sent a drone to investigate, capturing the man performing in the crosswalk. While police admitted the act was impressive, they say it was also illegal and dangerous. The performer was not ticketed, but officers moved him along, saying the show belonged anywhere but the middle of the road. Yeah, maybe like a sidewalk or something?
Yeah, maybe a sidewalk. Yeah, even next to a sidewalk is a little close to traffic, but yeah, at least they'll let him off with a warning.
Oh, there he goes down.
Oh,
okay,
there he
see,
goes.
I always wanted to learn how to ride a unicycle, and I think I tried as a kid. I had a cousin that had one. No, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, the closest I've ever gotten to like a unicycle type thing is a pogo stick.
Yes, and I can do that.
I can do that.
Not for very long, but I do think it's fun.
It
My
is
kids
pretty
had one,
fun.
and I tried. You know, I tried. I cannot juggle either. Can you?
No, I can juggle 2 balls.
Me too.
There you go.
That's all. That third one. That's why you don't juggle too many balls at one time.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks so much for continuing our day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. You can catch the noon show also coming up here and on CBS 19. Keep it here for the latest news weather throughout the day. We hope you have yourself a wonderful morning and even better weekend, and we'll see you dark and early on Monday at 5 a.m.